See, I'm an overcomer. I say yes, wedding kuni.
Yes, wedding kuni. Over Satan power. Desire kuni. I'm an overcomer.
I say yes, wedding kuni.
Yes, wedding kuni. Over Satan power.
Hosanna. I'm sure you were jamming to it like I was. So are you thinking who's next? Who's number 4? Well, stay tuned. Was Wafum Kwine by Patience Nyako. So we're moving to number 3. Our reigning artist of the year, Joe Mettle. Which of the songs? Well, let's see.
Hallelujah. Celebrate Jesus with me tonight. Hallelujah. All right, so this song is my testimony. Amen. Can I share it with you tonight? All right, let's go. I am who I am because of you. If it had not been for you, tell me where would I be? I was lost and sinking deep in sin, but you reached out your hand and rescued me. No one else can do the things you do. There's no one else but you. I am who I am because of you. If it had not been for you, tell me where would I be? I was lost and sinking deep in sin, but you reached out your hand and rescued me. No one else can do the things you do. Oh God, there's no one else but you. So I say this. Bononie,
Bono. That was Joe Mettle with Bononi. And number 3. Number 2. Again, who's our number 2 for the week? It seems our artist of the year is still reigning at number 2. So here again, we have number 2 by Joe Mettle. And this time is Onwawini.
Sunyamia oyo wa weni bibi arantu no ye onuno kasa adina yeti bibi arantu no ye
Yes, sunyamia oyo wa weni
bibi arantu no ye onuno
Oh, no, no, Kasa. That was Joe Metal again. He's doing great. I mean, he's still reigning 2 times on our chart this week. Kudos to the Joe Metal ministry team. And number one, this song has been on the airwaves everywhere you go. It's like the alarm everywhere you go. If you go to church and they don't sing this song, then I'm wondering which church you're going to. But let's find out who number one is. I'm not going to say it. So stand by for number one. Okay, so I got you there. To know who the number one for our weekly countdown is, stick to the end of our program and you will most definitely find out. And so we're moving straight to the G News segment. Before we move on, this show is proudly sponsored by Shaw's Haven. My beautiful outfit is sponsored by Tenacity Clothing. For all your beautiful outfits, please follow Tenacity Clothing on Facebook and Instagram. And Shaw's Haven will give you all the banku and tilapia you need for all your occasions. And then my beautiful makeup. I'm looking beautiful, am I not? Yeah. Even if you don't agree with me, I do. My beautiful makeup was by Emerge. Her number is 020-852-3294. And you can simply follow her on IG. We're in a technological era. Emerge, EMERGE _. In case you're wondering, we are streaming on Facebook, on CER, and then on Faith TV. Tomorrow, that's Sunday, we will stream on Radio ABN, and that's a UK-based radio station. So you know we are going global. You can catch us everywhere. So, not forgetting, we are also on Gospel GH. We're moving on to the G News segment. What's happening this week? What's going on? Stay tuned. The only gospel artist signed to Xylophone Media. Joyce Blessing, has made claims that her former manager, Kwesi Enes, lost an opportunity to be signed because he took money from her when she was unable to be present on a show due to her accident. I'm sure a lot of you heard that Joyce Blessing was involved in an accident early this year, but she parted ways with her former manager just because of this. And well, sad, but this is what happens in our industry sometimes. Moving on the same story, Kwesi Enes has apologized to Joyce Blessing for saying she was an ungrateful musician. And that's even not my worry. If you remember clearly, a week ago, Kwesi Otin's outlet, Kwesi Otin Ministries, came out with a statement saying that the statement that Kwesi Enes made was addressed to them. So if he's come out now to say that it was Joyce Blessing, then why did they take the thing World Cup? What was going on? What happened? I mean, we need to dig further. He actually came out with a press statement. I'm like, okay. So anyway, that's just by the way. But if you've not heard, Soul Winners are back. They are back. Walabolo. I'm sure if you haven't heard this song, then I don't know where you've been. But they are back with a concert, and they'll be live at the Royal House Chapel on the 2nd of July at 4 p.m. Okay. And we all know that the outgoing Pentecost chairman, Professor Onyina's concert is happening today. So after you finish watching the CR, you can just go to PIWC Kokumlimle. It's still ongoing. Let's go celebrate this man who's been such a blessing with all his songs. He's been such a blessing to not only the Pentecost church, but everybody at large. Yes. And Joe Metal's Praise Reloaded is happening next week Sunday. I mean, he's reigning. You saw from our chat. You should head there next week. It will be it will be at 5 p.m. next week. So please, if you haven't got your ticket now, you will get it on Vodafone Cash. Just go to all the Vodafone outlets and you will definitely get your ticket. And it's a season of programs. Brakweku's poetship launch and album Adonija will also be held at the PIWC Kaneshi. Charlie, it seems PIWC is raining for venues. If you want to have your venue, definitely PI. Now, Ohima Mercy's Tehila. I'm sure most of you saw that Ohima Mercy launched for her Tehila that will happen this year. But it's beautiful that to note that she's coming with Juanita Bynum. I mean, that's really great. If you've really been in the gospel industry and you're talking about worship giants, Juanita is one of them. And on the local front, we have Joe Metal, who will be ministering also. Kwesi Oting, Pastor Isaiah, Akese Brimpo, Elder Mreku. The list is endless. So you should watch out for this. It's her 5th edition and you should definitely go there. Moving away from programs, yeah, there are a lot of them, but Noble Nketia this week has made an appeal to Ghanaians to forgive the former GFA boss Nyantechi and pray for him. Well, I don't know how he involved himself in this matter, but I think we'll definitely fish out next week and find out why is this interest, why is he bothered with us forgiving him, why everybody is saying we should put the man, we should charge him, and you're saying we should forgive him. Well, I don't know what's going on there. Moving on from there, on the international front, I'm sure you saw on Twitter this week that Travis Green was trending, and he was saying that we should encourage and welcome women who get pregnant into our churches, because the rate of Christian women in our churches who are having abortions, they're way too many, and hence he thinks that it isn't right. What do you think? Do you agree with him? Well, you should just comment on the show on CR on Instagram as we are live, and we will read your comment letters. And what do you think about his claims? I mean, he feels that people are embarrassed to admit, and even in Ghana, people do say they do not let people who are pregnant come to church. Sometimes they are prevented from coming to church for a number of months. What do you think? Are you in agreement? Let me know. Just send a message and we will definitely read it out and discuss. Moving on, Tasha Cobbs' Your Spirit featuring Kara Shed hits 32 million views on YouTube. Wow. This is really awesome. I mean, this is a great time to be alive for gospel ministers. This is awesome. So in case you haven't seen the video, you should go watch it on YouTube. I mean, you will give it more airplays, and that will be a plus to the ministry. Well, that's it for this week. But before I leave, let me give my sponsors a shout out. Well, before I leave, let me give my sponsors a shout out. My beautiful outfit was by Tenacity Clothing. You can call or WhatsApp them on 020-811-0243 for all your Afrocentric women's clothing. Trust me, they will make you look beautiful. And then Emerge for all your occasions. If you want to be the outstanding woman out there, wherever you're going, a wedding party, we like parties, weddings, you can just call her on 020-852-3294, or just go on Instagram and just look for EMERGE_ on Instagram. And then Short Haven. If you haven't eaten Short Haven's banks and tills, then you're definitely missing out. She will give you banquet and tilapia that will cause you to bite your fingers. So please also follow her on Instagram, and her number is 050-1090-637. And as I said earlier, we are streaming on Gospel GH on Facebook. We are streaming on ABN Radio tomorrow on Sunday. And thank you for joining me. My name is Mame Dakwa. See you again next week for all that's trending in the music ministry. Thank you.
Have you been looking looking for that one-stop Christian shop that helps you discover more inspiration for your life and everyone around you? Worry no more. I am here to introduce to you Heavenly, a Christian shop where you can get Christian books, clergy attire, clerical shirts, customized face towels, cufflinks, chains, church supplies, communion wine, anointing oil, communion wafers, divine gifts for pastors' appreciation days, child naming and dedication services, and many more. You can also shop online at www.heavenly.org. We open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Waste no time. Locate us at Domi Kwabenya Main Road, Domi Last Stop, opposite XL Filling Station. Call us now on 0244 257 884 or 0264 257 884. Visit our website at www.abnate.org. Heavenly.
My life gracefully.
If you always keep your money in your wallet, one day you'll be let down.
Me say on a from emo, ori ene juma, GMO basika, abama meneo. Me say on a from emo, ori ene juma, GMO basika, ori ene juma. Me say on a from emo, ori ene juma, GMO basika. It's just a click. Obia to me a B, Miss May, Obia to me a B, also ye, Obia to me a B, Miss May, Obia to me a B, also ye B.
Now star 712 hash all networks. Put them.
The sea, the valleys that we see. For in his name shall the righteous flourish, as long the sun and moon exist. Who is like he who made way on the sea for the people of Israel? 24 elders bow at his feet, sing holy, worthy to be praised. Everybody in Nigeria, everybody in Cote d'Ivoire, all my people in South Africa, everybody in Ghana sing, yeah. Aye, bia funya mini wo. We all bring Paul or Katechi, na nenya miye. Down. Who is like a Jehovah? Spirit flows over the water, mountain hills and places high. Who sent us a Messiah? Glory, glory, hallelujah. To jam my life upon his shoulders. Love me as I sing, yeah. Everybody in Nigeria, everybody in Cote d'Ivoire, everybody in South Africa, everybody in Ghana sing, yeah.
Welcome back to the Christian Entertainment Review Show here on Faith TV and GNTV. If you're watching us on Facebook, this is the Christian Entertainment Review Facebook channel. If you're listening to us on radio, this is Gospel GH or ABN Radio in London. And we are across everywhere. So you can send your comments to 020-881-3325. 020-881-3325. You can follow us at CIA on Twitter, Facebook, Christian Entertainment TV. Just drop your comments under the Facebook live video, and I'll read it for you because today's topic is interesting, and the panel too I have are very knowledgeable and interested to handle the topic at hand. So we're going to talk about record labels and artist managers. You know, we're going to find a difference between record label and managers. We're going to even ask ourselves, do gospel artists really need artist managers? And what goes into managing a gospel artist? And I have people who have done this over the years. First, should I start? Okay, ladies first there. Oh, I should start from the side. Okay. So I have my man, Kwesi Ennis, CEO of Media Excel. He's been doing this for over 18 years. Kwesi,
brother,
help me.
I did fine.
So which gospel artists have you not managed before? Because you've done Benes Affair, Tego Sisters, Ohima, Mercy. You've done everybody. Who have you not done?
PCS, Star Gifter, say all of them.
You've not done those. Okay.
I've done all of them.
You've done all of them?
Yeah, I've done all of them. I've done all of them. I think that it got to a dispensation in our industry where the services of professional hands are needed to aid some of them. Sometimes not even like direct managers, but behind the scenes to administer their works and all that, because music was exiting from the traditional point of view to a digital form of with a new attitude, a new will tell you new swag, new trending and all that. And so it required some few hands, people with some expertise, people who have learned on the job or from educational background to add their strength to the job. And so by God's grace, some of us happen to fall within that category. And
so 80
we
years.
aided our support to
it'll be so 80 years.
Yeah, actively, and it's not been a bad.
We're going to discuss. We're going to discuss on that. Next to Kwesi Ennis, I also have a man who has done this for 5 years. He's now managing Nasi. I know he's managed CC Chum. I know at a point in time too he's handling. I think you are still handling OJ. Yeah. Yes. Frankie Five is the host of This Is Gospel on Hits 103.9 FM. Sunday 6 to 9 p.m. Just tune in to 103.9. This one will be a radio. We are talking about fathers.
Yeah. And we have the likes of Rexoma, Freddie Ma, Prophet Alex Chum passing through.
Okay, CC Chum's husband.
Yes.
Okay. So that's Frankie Five. Now C's manager. We're going to talk about record labels and you're an operations manager for Xylophone Acts Fund.
Yes, and the communication director
for Xylophone Acts Fund.
Yes.
So you have a little knowledge about how the xylophone structure operates.
Somewhat.
So you can help us there.
Yes.
Perfect. And also, next to Frankie Five, it's a lady that in 2008 or 2009, when I started events, this lady put me a counterback. This is the first time I'm saying it on TV. When I started events in 2008, this lady put me a counterback because I didn't pay for X4.
Okay. So you committed a crime. So if you commit a crime, what happens to people who commit crimes? Can I ask this question?
No.
If you commit
I ask questions. You don't ask
supposed
questions.
to be arrested.
Thank you.
And Soraya does it better. she
I
did it
give
to
you
me.
time.
Yeah.
She did it to me.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been to the Gonja Barracks before, but you know Soraya has got that.
And unfortunately for him, he was in Sunyani, and that was not close to where he lived.
Yeah. I went there to do an event, and Charlie, the girl saw me.
She arrested on Friday night.
It was a Saturday night.
He booked the show, so he knows what day it is. So he should have come correct.
Soraya is a manager for EL, and he's been managing acts for over 10 years, right?
I'm not that old.
No, not that old. He's managing Shonotri too.
You're spoiling my prospects.
Yeah, I'm managing what
I'm trying to. I'm not that old. I'm not 18 years in the game.
Under 10 years.
Under 10 years.
So that's Soraya. Soraya, very, very controversial.
I'm not controversial.
Very controversial.
You're not.
So we're going to start a discussion.
I will say that.
We're going to start a discussion. What is the difference between a record label and an artist manager? Are they the same thing? So yeah.
Okay, so the structure of traditional music, the music business is a record label or publisher produces your music and sells it. So normally record labels and publishers are under the same company. Sometimes they can be separate. So you could have a company produce your music, invest in actually producing the music, and then another company sells it. That's your publisher. A booking agent is somebody who takes your bookings for business deals, shows, everything like that. And then a manager in different formats. So you have a personal manager, a business manager. So if you have a business manager, he basically handles your money, make sure you're doing everything above board. And if you have a personal manager is really supposed to be someone who understands your vision and makes your vision happen.
Okay.
So they oversee basically the whole team. They oversee your agents, your record label, or they are the go-between. So they communicate in between the producers, the publishers, your agents, your so on and so forth. But unfortunately, we are in a country called Ghana, where our systems don't work, and to some extent, Gamro is doing a good job now, but the good job that they're doing has been maybe 3 years. So publishers, producers, agents, PR people, business managers have been all eating from the same pot for a long time. So for a long time, it's been one person. Or a team of people who are doing
so
5 companies or 10 companies jobs.
So
let's clap for Ghana managers.
So let's say Frankie is managing Nasi.
Yes.
Do you describe Frankie as a record label?
No. So ideally, if Frankie is managing Nasi, his job would be to understand Nasi's vision and to make it happen. So he can communicate to the record label, communicate to the publisher, make sure that the deals, his best interest is the artist. Understand that the record label's best interest is the label. The publisher's best interest is the publisher. The agent's best interest is his 20%. Everybody's best interest is everybody else. The manager's best interest is normally the artist. And that is why from time immemorial, managers have always been that best friend you grew up with, your mother, your brother, because it's always been the person who has your best interest.
Like your defense minister.
Yes, and they see the vision and they see you through it. An artist sometimes can't make their vision happen, produce music, record music, and still perform music. So they make that all happen.
So in other words, in simple terms, for instance, xylophone. Because xylophone.
So to my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Xylophone is a record label, and it's my understanding that every artist under Xylophone Media or Xylophone Music has a manager. So the manager is the go-between. Ideally, the label owner shouldn't be calling the artist directly. They will be calling the manager. Charlie, your guy for Come Studio. But I don't know what the structure is. I don't know if Xylophone have their own publishing, and so they are responsible for selling the artist's music. And unfortunately, like you said, because of the digital space we're in today, a lot of people don't even need publishers. You don't need a fully fledged record label. You can just go out and get your music out there on your own. You, your manager, your PR can work out a system and make it happen. And that's actually one of the reasons why managers' fees have gone up so high. Before, managers used to take between 5 to 10%. Now managers can take up to 50% because they are just I'm saying, but because most of them now are investing even more than the artist. So if they're investing even more than the artist, then of course they have to make more money.
So Frankie, is it necessary to have a manager? So let's say you are with Xylophone. So let's say Nasi's record. What's the name of Nasi's record label? Is it for Nasi? Nasi Music for Nasi. It's for you are the manager under Nasi's record label. So under Nasi Music, do you have any other acts, or is just you have
okay? So this is how the Nasi Music structure is like. So he is the CEO of Nasi Music, and he is the artist and the brand we are pushing. So under the hierarchy, we have business manager. So I do both the personal manager and the business manager, just because of my banking background and finance background. So I do that. And we have a road manager, and we have a communications director. And we have how do you call the wardrobe people?
Stylist.
The stylist. Cool.
Or an image consultant.
Great. So we have this 4 strong arms under the label Nasi Music, and that's how it works. But I would say, Soya has just said it so well. I mean, we should commend Ghanaian managers. So in Ghana, you see, the whole structure of what the record label is what Xylophone has attempted to do. So yes, indeed, in Xylophone you get the ENR, you get all the other arms that the record label should have, including publishing.
Yep.
Yeah, including publishing. So, but here, the manager
is doing everything.
Is doing virtually everything, touching base with every other thing. You see, that's why people end up calling us errand boys, because honestly,
yeah, it's true.
You will run around and do
everything for the act. Yeah.
Yes, to ensure that the best value comes finally to your brand, so you can get something to put on the table.
So, Kwesi, if a young minister, a young act, gospel act needs a manager, what must he do first?
Okay, with how I personally started with my job, I started identifying talent myself, because the work of a manager in this part of the world we live in is such stressful, such that you don't need to waste your time 5 years working on an artist who himself or herself doesn't have that hopes of even making it in the next 20 years. So what I did personally with my personal experience was the fact that I started looking for talent. So it could be from churches, it could be from here, it could be from places. You go to places, you see that a particular person is performing, and you look at the energy, the fire in the artist's eyes. You could see that this person has got an appetite to become a great artist in the future, you know. And then I plug the person, and then I start warming you up, giving you all the various teachings and all the things you're supposed to do and all that to make it big and all that. And so that system, I'm sure, has been used by several managers worldwide in making sure that the record labels keep up to date with talent and what they have, such that, because the success of your artist makes you the record label big. If you have 20 artists and then here and the review, none of them is even nominated for any awards, and you are happy jumping around, then you should find some barber should come around and just cut your head off.
But with gospel artists, is the Yardstick Awards?
I think with every artist, the yardstick might not necessarily be an award, but an award is a justification of good work done. So what he's saying is, if you have a label and you have 10 artists on there and nobody is getting any recognition as good work done, then probably it's going to reflect in your sales. But you're probably not going to be getting sales.
But people also focus on crowd pulling.
No, but crowd pulling, but awards are just an extension of crowd pulling. If you're not getting shows, you're not making an impact, you're not gonna be getting the awards.
How do you become a crowd puller if your music is not doing well?
I get you, but most people criticize the award systems in Ghana.
Yeah,
we're not talking about. I don't want to go to the system of the awards. I'm just giving you few.
Okay.
You know what happens in our chambers, and I'm saying that as a manager, you have to strive to make sure that you pull your artists to the top. That is why you see us all the time running to TV stations, fighting in radio stations, fighting here, and making sure that the musicians are there. They reach the level they are supposed to. Because, funny enough, in this part of our world, I don't know about funk, but virtually, musicians is not a system of where artists pay managers every month. Our work that we do, it's not that there's no. I don't know, but unless maybe any artist can call on air and say that I pay my manager maybe 30,000 cedis a month or 20,000. I want the cameras are open. What you do, it is the effort. You pick this, you polish it. It can take 1 year. It can take 24 months. Sometimes you can push at 3 years before the artist is still not gotten that recognition, where an event company can even invite the artist and pay the artist 2,000 cedis or 1,000 cedis. And in between this wilderness journey, you have to keep the thing burning because it gets to a time the artist becomes like your family member. Because 2 years the artist hasn't gotten to a level where the artist is supposed to make it to attract maybe event organizer, or you attract events or revenue coming through. And you have worked with somebody for 2 years. What are you going to do? Are you going to throw the person away and say because money is not coming, so go your way?
So at that point, at this point, I'm wondering. You know, Christian music or gospel music is about singing to God and about the calling. We have a plan. You have a plan, and maybe that's not what God has called a person to do. So how do you distinguish what's God's calling on the act and trying to make numbers, trying to put relevance on the act, trying to if you want to do crowd pulling to win awards, how do you differentiate? Because you've done it for so long. So let's say, but for lack of a better example, Kofi Sapong, when he started with this Presby songs, trying to tune them, and when he starts with that doesn't hit. Then he's okay. Let's do some different stuff. But he's saying God is calling him to stay there. How do you help, or what do you do?
God doesn't call people to stay in an environment and die. God call people and make them something. God calls you and adds value to you.
But it gives you time to do it.
So when I hear that kind of mathematics or assertions that I keep hearing from artists talking about, some of them, they are nonsense. Because you see, the thing is that in every calling, you have to perfect it. Whether it's the speaking of tongues, is the reading of Bible, or church secretary, or whatever it is, you have to perfect your craft. And so that when people see you, they see Christ in you.
Yeah.
Because the man that we are following is that he is a perfect person. So you don't remain there. If let's say that we pick you today, and maybe you are singing off, and then after 2 years you are still singing off.
He says
and
singing off.
Like singing off.
Like this off.
You are going off key.
You are going off key.
And then after 2 years you are still going off. Oh yeah, and then you tell yourself that because God has called you, and so as for you, your calling is that you have to continue going off. What about them?
No, it's not about going off. It's about let me use for lack of a better example. Let me use Akese.
Yeah.
For instance, he's doing reggae. It took a time before he penetrated through. But a lot of people come in, they do worship or high life gospel.
No, Akese's thing is what you are talking about is style.
No, it's not about
what you're talking about is style in general.
Okay. Every guy to his corner. Every guy.
I'm coming before style even comes with the military type. It is the style. It is the style, and you see, you do. It takes people time for them to understand. Oh, okay, this is what this young man wants to do. Let us support the young man.
But that's not the norm. So if you are the manager, for instance, if you're a record label, you say, okay, you're not bringing in figures, for instance. So stop this reggae gospel you are doing that God has called you to do. Do the high life or do
I'm not sure worship. If you pick Akese Bempong's CD.
I'm not saying now.
No, I'm not sure that if you pick Akese's CDs, every song on it is reggae. Well, do you know why you did it so? You did it so because of market diversification. So that Suraya type, the Hallelujah praise types, like the Suraya can have their own.
What is the Hallelujah praise type?
The Funky Five type, the Xylophone Art Society, they'll get their share. So and then so it goes. The Roman Father will have their share and everything. It's the reason why artists record 10 songs on an album, 11 songs, and do different things. So when you say, oh, I want to do worship, typical worship. Some people even these days they say contemporary worship. I don't know which one is that one. You see, but I'm sure it's appealing to those who are wearing the suits and they are waving. The people who in the church they are in the spirit, but they are still standing firm. They don't want to fall. I'm sure they are the contemporary.
That's the contemporary. So you're about to say something.
I think the question you're asking is a very important question because for me actually it's something that I struggled with. The difference between the calling and the business side of it. For me, especially with my production background, what I like to do is I like to have a handle on everything. I like to know what is happening at every point in time. With a gospel artist, you can't have that happen because the person who's controlling things is God Almighty. You are here trying to control lights and sound, and sometimes things just happen. I think what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to deliver a message. As a gospel artist, you're supposed to be able to deliver a message. A manager or a producer or a record label's job is to help you deliver the message. God says go out and talk about love. He doesn't say go out and talk about love screaming or go out and talk about love quietly. He says go out and talk about love. So whatever your calling might be, whatever that message might be, it is down to the team to come up with, say, okay, this is our strategy to move forward the message. Okay, so it's not necessarily about numbers, and you guys are making it sound a little bit conceited, but it's not necessarily about numbers and a certain, way of doing things, but it's about delivering a message in a very specific way or in a way that works. I do want to say this though. Akese Brimpong's, one of Akese Brimpong's albums is probably like my favorite piece of music from the shores of Ghana, gospel or non-gospel. And I think sometimes
Songs in the Night.
Is that the one with Closer on it?
Yeah.
Like that's like an amazing album. As an album in general.
You're putting him to a very tight angle.
No.
If you are not careful, you move him from host to manager.
I want to go on record to say, Akese, call me, okay? Call me. We can talk about management deal. We'll make some management deal happen.
Hold it. Okay, you want to say something before I answer?
Yeah. You see this funny thing about calling and business. We always miss the point. I've managed artists who are liberal, and I've managed artists who are linked to a ministry. Someone like Sisi Chum. Yeah, because that's the best word I can use, honestly. Because there are people who will tell you, listen, I don't want to go on this platform. Yeah, it's gospel, yes, but I don't want to go on that platform.
And the platform is paying.
And there are people that say, so long as it's gospel, I don't mind. I'll jump on it.
Yeah, it's your message and how you want to deliver it, and who you choose to deliver it to.
Good. There's this thing in Joshua chapter 14, verse 9.
Preach on that.
I would like to read.
Preach on
that.
Amen.
There was a time that Joshua and his brothers were charging God for their allotment, the allocation of the blessings or the possessions that God has given them. And Joshua 14:9 says that. So on that day, Moses swore to me, Caleb is talking, that the land on which your feet have walked will be your inheritance, and that of your children forever, because you have followed the Lord my God wholeheartedly. God does not birth every superstar in his kingdom to go poor. Wherever he gives you, he needs you to take possession. How do you take possession? When you are satisfied with that small corner that you are in. You need to take, when we say possession, you should be the artist of the year at the VGMAs. And Joe Metal did that, for example. Do you get it?
Yeah.
That is breaking barriers. You need to step there and take dominion. So that mentality that, listen, I'm a gospel artist, and so what?
Yeah, I think you guys limit, like gospel
music. We limit ourselves too much.
So
let's allow ourselves for God to use us to send his message across. Stop giving God limits. Now we have become so holy to the extent that we can tell God that we don't want to be here. What happened to you discussing with God? What happened to you waiting on God to speak to you to take possession? What happened to our aggressiveness?
So that do your act when you get some events, does he turn down some of the events because he at the last minute he says that God says I shouldn't minister there? Have any of your acts done that before?
Of course, it's happened to some of my artists I manage, and
the
money is huge.
And that is not even just gospel acts. I think that you have to understand with creative people are very in tune with their spirits, whether it's their spirits or their godly spirit, but they're very in tune with their spirits. I have worked with many artists who say, let's not move their car, and literally you hear maybe 3 or 4 hours later there was a pile up on the road or something like that. A lot of creative people are very in tune with the spirit, and I think that is the main message I want to put across, that a manager's role, and if you're an artist and you're looking for a manager, you need to find somebody who is willing to understand your vision, come in with their expertise, and fuse that together and bring the best out for you forward. And sometimes it's not the biggest paycheck. Sometimes it's the smallest or it's the most impactful. Sometimes it is the biggest paycheck. I mean, I'm sure when Joe Metal's team were like, okay guys, we're going to push for the VGMAs this year, I'm sure 95,000 people were like, gospel musicians never, this never happened. But I think even, I keep forgetting her name. I want to say something, but it's so bad. Let's go to the next person.
Okay. So what?
Ask him privately.
Before you even mention any other thing, I think that I now have maintained that posture that when it comes to gospel music, spirituality is very, very important.
Yeah.
You can never take away spirituality from gospel music. And I know I'm happy Soraya is very much interested in that aspect of this. You can never take spirituality aspect from gospel music. That is, in fact, if you say you are a gospel artist, the aspect of being a liberal or a Democrat or Republican, it doesn't come on the table.
Okay.
The thing is that you have decided to be a gospel artist, and out of the genre, you have decided to represent the voice of God on earth for mankind. Wherever you stand, your attitude, your actions, and everything. You may have a few likes and dislikes, like what my brother, honorable member Frank said. For example, that sometimes you may have a particular church that if you look at the kind of concert they are doing on TV, you as an artist don't want to stand on their platform, because I mean
you don't believe in it.
Exactly, you don't believe in the faith of that person. Though the person is a pastor or something. I've had the opportunity of taking Professor Paul to a place to performance, and I had one of the Presbyterian heads in Ghana here. He called me on phone and told me that they don't want me to take Kofi to sort that platform
again.
Yeah.
Okay. You understand? And even Kofi himself, before the man will call me, Kofi himself approached me and said, "Brakosi, this place they had the young Kohabim." That is the artist instincts. For me, also as a manager, I may think, Charlie, the man is ready to pay some good money. Some good money. Why don't we take the opportunity? And so sometimes we have clashes. Managers and artists, we do have clashes with such. You can take a program, go. The person has paid and everything. 3 days to the event, your artist will call you that he has prayed, and something tells him that he shouldn't go to that platform.
Okay.
What are you going to do? So it is between you
hold on.
to handle the legal aspect of it. Legal
He's feeling sick.
No, we're going to go for a break. We are going for a break. When we come back, we are going to discuss. I don't know why only the gospel industry, when people are switching management or switching record label, it makes a lot. There's a lot of noise about it. It's either the former record label is fighting the new record label. It's like the artist is saying that something is wrong, something is right. And we are also going to talk about why do artists, especially the contemporary artists like Christians, do they really need artist managers in this new digital age? And even so, I was making a very controversial point. Do gospel artists really need artist managers or record labels? We're going to come back after the break and we'll talk about that. Stay tuned.
If you always keep your money in your wallet, one day you'll be let down.
Me say ona from emo, ori ene juma, GN basika, abama meneo. Me say ona from emo, ori ene juma, GN basika. Ori ene juma. They say I'm not from emo. Ori ene juma. GN basika. It's just a click. Obia to me ebi. Mesume yedi. Obia to me ebi. Osu yedi. Obia to me ebi. Mesume yedi. Obia to me ebi. Osu yedi.
Dial star 712 hash all networks. Put them.
Have you been looking for that one-stop Christian shop that helps you discover more inspiration for your life and everyone around you? Worry no more. I am here to introduce to you Heavenly, a Christian shop where you can get Christian books, clergy attire, clerical shirts, customized face towels, cufflinks, chains, church supplies, communion wine, anointing oil, communion wafers, divine gifts for pastors' appreciation days, child naming and dedication cleaning services, and many more. You can also shop online at www.heavenly.org. We open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Waste no time. Locate us at Domi Kwabenya Main Road, Domi Last Stop, opposite XL Filling Station. Call us now on 0244 257 884 or 0264 257 884. Visit our website at www.abnate.org. Heavenly.
Welcome back to the CEO show, and we are talking about artist management. Does a gospel artist really need someone to manage him or her? In this current era of digital, stuff, do they still need managers? Because when you go to TuneCore, you can distribute your music. CD Bay, you can distribute your music. Do you need record labels or managers to help you do the physical distribution and all other stuff? We're going to discuss that. But now I'm going to discuss something I believe Crusaders would all love to go there. But why is it that? So let me start with you. Why is it that?
No, start with me.
No, start with me.
Yeah, start with you.
No, but you started with him to go here.
Okay, but female
first.
Female empowerment.
So let me start. Why is it that only in the gospel industry, when someone is switching camp from one manager to another manager, it becomes a whole lot of issues? Is it that they don't sign contracts before they move? The previous manager takes the person on. They don't have exit clauses. I mean, after that, you hear with the Misika, you hear a whole lot of issues on there. Why is it only peculiar to the gospel? Because the secular people, you hear Stonebwoy move, there's no talk about it. You hear Kumi Guitar move from slip to xylophone, you didn't hear anything about it. But the gospel guys, you hear a lot of, even if you hear issues, they are backroom issues. You don't hear it in the media. But why is it that the gospel people, you hear a lot of issues?
Nino, I think you're wrong. I think you hear a lot of issues when people move regardless. There's what I call 3 stages. There's the fans' realization of, oh my God, there's a change. There's the press and critics. And then there's the actual people, the parties involved, and how they react to the situation. I don't think it's a gospel only issue. I will say that when this person just left my brain. When I1 was leaving Bulldogs, it was very messy. There's a lot of messy issues that I can even talk about that I'm not supposed to talk about because it's a Christian platform. So I mean, when Shatawale was leaving Bulldog, very messy. I can give so many instances where there's been messy, I'd like to call them divorces. But it's because it is a divorce. Okay. The truth of the matter is, with the manager and the artist, you will spend no less than 6 days out of the week with this person. Either on the phone, you spend, for those who are married, for those who are married, they even spend more time with them than even their spouses do. So whenever there is a parting of ways, whether it be mutual or not, it's very distressful for both parties. What I think we do have in Ghana, which I've been talking about for years, is we have a problem with the press. There are certain things that happen in Hollywood that is for what they call Hollywood, and there are certain things that happen in Hollywood that is for public consumption. You would think that the press would know this is for public consumption, this is not, because in around the world a lot of messy things happen, but there are industry conversations. You and I, we all know it, but it never becomes public domain. But unfortunately here, because people are striving to make the next headline, anything and everything becomes news. There's some questions that a TV presenter or radio presenter should not even ask an artist. Why have you quit? Why did you quit your management? No. Why have you quit your management? You know why they have something called official statements? This is what I am telling you. And that's it. That's it. It's not even about not being ready. It's that's what it's supposed to be.
So when you were leaving Jeshurun, what was the procedure?
Okay, so hey Jesh. So a lot of people know that I love Joshua Otri with all my soul.
I know you love Joshua Otri.
But also, let me answer you. Okay. So a lot of me and Josh never had a
contract.
No, we were actually in a trial basis, and it falls on me because I was unavailable, and I strongly believe that as an artist manager, and which I always talk to him about, because I always wonder how he's able to balance his time. I always ask Kwesi, like, how are you able to like give everybody maximum attention? I strongly believe whenever you're putting somebody's career in your hands, you have to have the attention and the space and time for it.
So you didn't have that attention?
We were in a trial era, and we didn't have that.
So
the marriage, we were dating, and then we didn't marry. So it wasn't a divorce because there was no marriage, you know.
Faki, I'll come to you. You none of your arts have left you. So let me go to Kwesi.
I'm sure there are some, but you just don't know about.
There's been a lot of transition. There's been a lot of transition.
He just said his former artist, Sisi Chum.
Sisi Chum,
did I mention anything? Kwesi, did I mention anything?
So how did it go? Did you have a contract with Sisi?
And who told you?
Okay, still managing.
I'm no more working with Sisi.
You're still managing.
You see, it's news to you.
It's news to me.
That was going to be my entry point. Okay, we should be disciplined enough as artist managers and even the creative people themselves, the artists. Let's grow up a bit. Okay, let's leave petty issues and deal with substance. Okay. So it's even news to you that I was no longer managing CC, right?
Yeah.
Good. That's how it should be.
So
if you are not a family member,
so you managing CC.
Kwesi management, but not the documented thing.
Okay.
No,
like you are doing with Nasi.
Like I'm doing with Nasi and OJ. Do you get it? So that was going to be my entry point. Number 2, I'm sorry to say that I've witnessed, not just myself, but I've witnessed the fact that gospel artists, I don't know, that's my domain. I don't know about the other genre.
Why did you point to me?
I don't know, but they do not respect contract. Period. And I'm not afraid to say this.
I think that's Ghanaian.
They do not respect contract, and it doesn't matter whether they sign it or you sign it and give it to them, and it takes forever for them to return the contract, and yet they expect you to work. They just do not respect contract, and that's the bottom line. Because if they respect contract, these things will go without nobody even knowing that we are switching camps. If I want to switch now, if I'm enjoying this and I want to enjoy a different bottle, what stops me from doing that? But it should be an inner conversation. It shouldn't go out.
So, Kwesi, you've done this a lot of times. You have
switched camps.
You have switched camps. Divorced a lot of times.
So many divorces.
So how did you do it?
So many marriages.
And first of all, did you sign contract with these people that you're no more with them? And what was the exit clause in this contract?
Okay, from where I said, I think that one of the biggest mistakes of my life in terms of an artist manager and producer was the fact that I didn't make contract as one of my most important backgrounds of my work. I was too passionate about the job than the legal aspect of it. Secondly, also, you put trust in people because you look at the person, a young artist comes to you, and then the koto wakes up morning, Papa, call you father, this.
Your head big.
And then you get the notion that
everything is well.
As for this person as for this person, if I show you some of the messages new artists when they are coming, they will send to you. You become like a god. You know the whole thing, man, shower and come then. You know the whole thing. You know that kind of thing. And then you're in between your head. You look at it and say that.
I have not got to it. Recently, I had this young man come to my house. One fine evening, somebody brought him to my house. Say, so. Hey, Daddy Frankie Fire. I say, and you see the old man calling me Daddy Frankie Fire. In fact, I know that when you touch my work, things will change. I've watched you and I know how you get, and they worship you like a demigod, from the beginning. But it's left with you to be able to.
So I think that those fake praises really
make you forget the context.
Not that makes you forget the context, but it makes you become emotional about the drive that this person, I'll do everything I can
to push the person.
Not forgetting that every struggling person has got a hidden agenda. that let me get a white shirt. Until you get a new white shirt,
you never be careful.
Then you never be careful. So when they get the new white shirt, and so sometimes it is very funny. The artists will know that you are doing everything. She's on TV. Then they will call, hey Papa, they are both TV. So she will never even ask you how much is even the cost of airplay for TV. She will never ask you, or he will never ask you, so what is the cost of this bottle you bought for me?
Yeah.
When they are in your car, they are sitting. You got to, go and pick a shoe here. You will pick a shoe here. Or buy, you go and buy these dresses. And then when it is time, the person becomes successful. Then the person, you will be in the office one day, the person will come to you. Now I want to find out the work we have done. How much is my share? How much?
Because you didn't sign.
How much have you spent on my? You see the thing. Yeah. And then by then, a lot of things. Because if you work with somebody for 3 years and after 3 years the person comes to ask you for expenses and for how much you have even spent on talk time on air, I'm sure that you need to go to Vodafone for them to print your communication reel for you. And so what I'm thinking, what I look at it is that so for some of us, whatever we are going through today, we ourselves, to myself, to allow some of the things to happen. There were things that I am supposed to, at my level in the career, the way I was passionate about and using my energies to do. I should have been able to put strong legal strength.
Yeah.
So wait. For lack of a better term, let me use your lesson. For lack of.
No, I don't want you to mention any person's name.
Okay, for lack of
all respect to your show.
Okay. Good. So when one of your acts, or when any of your acts is moving from one, now you don't have a contract, and it's moving from one label, and they say, okay, I want to move on to another label. What do you do, or what do the artists do? Do they inform you? Do you have a meeting with them? At that point in time, do you agree on something orally?
In our dispensation, I have mostly not all the artists possibly will even tell you they are moving. Not sometimes. It's barely once that you hear. Sometimes you even hear it as you even a manager. You hear, because sometimes you'll be here and somebody will call you and say, do you work with this person again? It means that there'll be some communications going on within some circles, which the person have even heard, and then is trying to get a direct feedback from you as the manager, whether what he or she is hearing is true or not. And sometimes you try to debunk it as, it's not true. And then before you see the
you mean there's no conversation indoors? You just
sometimes you hear it.
You just hear it on
on
radio.
Our system is very funny. I'm telling you, and I want you to try. I mean, you are coming as a new artist manager, and I wish you very well. I wish you very well, because trust me, see, when an artist becomes successful, and this is not just to the gospel artists alone.
It's everybody.
Trust me, the transition from an unknown artist to a popular artist,
from class 1 to class 6.
I am telling you that it is like it's like a World War II. Because at that point, the artists who used to call you and give you the appellations and what have you, the whole thing changes to a service of now you have to rather worship the artist.
Yeah.
Because you can go and charge a show and the artist will tell you I will not go. So even the manager, for fear of being sued by the company, you have to go and lie on the artist's carpet and play them patrol with the boy mommy. And it gets too worrying to the extent that sometimes the artist behave like you are even doing him a favor by going to take a show for him. Yeah, because the artist you take your artist to a show, and the artist looks at the organizer and tell you that I am tired, I cannot even perform. And then the event organizer is on your neck. We need your artist 6 o'clock. Why is your artist here? And you go, and then you go open your artist door and the artist is asleep. Meanwhile, the show is starting 15 minutes. And then if you're not careful, as an artist manager, you end up entering into legal suits for the and you cannot also bring the name of the artist in public that it is the fault of my artist.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you have to protect the artist.
Yes.
And so what we do is that because we take all the donkey jobs, we do the mistakes, we commit errors, we commit a whole lot of, because our system of operation here, like Soraya described, we are not operating the universal Sony Records management system where before you can even book an artist, the legal department will take over it they prepare the contract. Somebody goes to do the accounting, collect the payment, and then so you, the manager, the person that the manager, yours is to just sit to the car with the artist, possibly to a rehearsals, and then after to the show, or look at the costume aspect. Even that one, there's a costume director who comes to tell you that this show, this is your lighting thing, this is how you have to supposed to look and all that. We have bundled everything, and I'm saying that if some of us doesn't slow down with the manner to which we are working, it will not be far. Some of us will visit Osu Cemetery. Yes, it will not be far. Some of us.
Let me announce my WhatsApp line again. The WhatsApp line again is 020-881325. 020-881325. And some of the messages that have come in. We don't have an artist manager in the gospel music industry in Ghana. Or we have a booking agent.
Stop it.
No, there's
road managers.
Stop. The person is typing
55 is not being truthful. He's only mentioning positions to make it look like Nasi Music has got managerial structures. He's only a booking agent, and I can challenge you on that. I've got facts. Next Solomon says that. Hello, Soraya.
Nick typed that.
Can we stop for a moment?
Hello, Soraya. You come in.
Okay.
There's Nick typed that.
Hello, Soraya. Well done. True talk. Keep it up. That's Amanda J. You are so wrong. There are more talks in the secular industry when artists move on from one record label to another. In any case, how many of such have we had in the gospel music industry? How many official record labels do we have in our gospel music industry? Nick Solomon also says that. There's another one here says, Daniel from Spinters, a Christian artist need management. Management has a role to play in the artist's life. I mean, management has a whole lot to play. Someone is also asking, someone is saying that does a Christian artist need a record label? Yes, but not just my label. That's Paul. Then another said, please ask Kwesianet. Kwesianet, is he still managing Kofi Sapol?
Yes, I'm Kofi Sapol's manager. Everything.
Are you still managing Kofi Sapol?
I'm his manager. Full swing.
I want to tackle the first message, even though it wasn't directed at me. You see, in Ghana, unfortunately, we have a problem where a lot of people sit behind a table or a computer or even sometimes to your face, and they don't want to, or they better I want to be nice, so they don't know but they speak. Okay, if a company has a structure or a company doesn't have a structure, you are not at the company, so you wouldn't know what the structure is. That's number one. Number two, if a company says they have a structure and they don't have a structure, even if you're a wache seller, I once saw it in Nigeria with my own eyes. Somebody was at a reception of a very small office, and they said they had actually given the receptionist a title, Director of First Impressions. And I laughed about it because I was like, wow, we should actually call our receptionist the Director of First Impressions. But the truth of the matter is, she is the Director of First Impressions. You cannot sit there and say that this person doesn't have this, or this person doesn't do this, or this person doesn't do that. The problem that we have in this industry, whether it's gospel or secular or even as a media industry, because the actors are having the same issues. My contract with you is a contract between me and you. Period. My agreement with you is an agreement between me and you. Period. I studied contract law. I actually just did a course in just contract law, and even verbal contracts. If you and I both agree and we have an understanding, it is binding, because you and I, that's why we have something called acting in bad faith. You and I have agreed that this is what we are doing. I don't even have to pen it to paper. You pen it to paper because you want a record of it. But if you and I have agreed that this is what we are doing, it is upon me as a good human being to get my side done, and upon you as a good human being to get your side done. And our contract is between me and you.
But you should acknowledge the fact that
I am saying that pen and paper is for record.
I understand. But
and the reason why paper
following, and they also want to know more about that.
Yes, I get that. But my contract with the record label, then my contract with the manager, my contract with my agent, my contract with my stylist is between me and the stylist, not the fans. And I will say this, fans in Ghana are too entitled. Too entitled. Hold on, let me finish, because I'm on a roll now. Too entitled. I'm saying this to you. Yours is to accept the gift that the person is giving you. As a fan, this is what they are giving you. Yours is to accept it or to like it or dislike it. Yours is not to question how it's created. I see that a lot on social media, and honestly, if I was an artist, I'm telling you, I would pick up a gun.
But the customer is the final
consumer. The customer is the final consumer, so he can decide to buy or walk away.
No, I understand you.
You don't tell Nike how they create their shoes.
I get
you. Don't complain and say, Adidas, your lines today is short, so therefore, who is his manager? His manager cry, no try. And we see it on social media all the time.
Okay, let's take football. We most of the times blame the coaches.
Let me finish. So if I go to ShopRite, let me finish. If I go to ShopRite,
I appreciate your 15 minutes.
If I go to ShopRite, I want to finish.
You see, the unfortunate part of some of these arguments is that the people who seems to be criticizing and talking, if you check their backgrounds and if you give them the opportunity that what you are criticizing me about, come and take it and do it, they will collapse it.
And that is why I'm saying they feel entitled. As a fan, as a acceptor of art, yours is to accept it or to walk away. I like Toni Braxton. You cannot tell me that Whitney Houston has the best voice in the world. For me, it is Toni Braxton. That is what I choose to pick. Mine is not to go and tell Whitney Houston, oh, your manager there, no trial because you know sing the song like that. No. I'm telling you that we are building a society where we're allowing people to stifle creativity. You know, and that is why I made the point about Akessi's album. Akessi's album is one of the best musical albums I've heard in this country, period. It has nothing to do with gospel or not. And somebody will sit somewhere and say, but this one won't sell. It doesn't matter. It's about art and creating the art. The reason why God didn't use the usher to sell his story or his message was because he wanted it from a creative point of view. So he gave somebody who has the creative, and he puts the message in that. Otherwise, your usher at church today, when you come to church, you say God loves you. Why doesn't that affect you as much as when somebody sings it?
So I get you, but you are saying
I'm
that.
Sorry,
so
but
you're saying that. So if the gospel artist, for instance, last week I made this example. Brother Sammy brings the Nipaphone song, Nipaphone Cancer phone song. When he brings it, it's on to us to accept it or not. You don't have to criticize the manager.
I am saying that when you don't like a song, or you don't like an artist, or you don't like the way he dresses, there's so many reasons why you can dislike somebody. You don't like the way one of his teeth works. We don't know what it is. His skin is too light, his skin is too dark. It is your choice to walk away from that particular product. When I walk into a supermarket, there's about 70 types of bread. Right? 70 bread. Brown bread with coconut. There's bread. I can choose the one I want. I have given you the product. Yours is not to tell me that, oh, the bread cry make like when they were adding the sugar, they should have added brown. No. Find what you want and keep it there. Honestly, your message has really made me upset.
So you mean if they don't like this guy's song, they think
I'm saying that the creative process is a creative process. Yours is not to determine the creative process. Yours is to like what you have or not like what you have.
Move to another
That's fine.
Perfect.
That is fine. But I'm talking about the creative process.
Perfect.
Yeah, cranky. One thing that I'm sure Nick Solomon, does he manage an artist?
Let's not even give anybody any.
No, I'm just saying. Listen, so this is to all of us, also artist managers. You know, there's what we call in business is done everywhere. You are a banker, you know this. So there's what we call sales meeting. You know, so it's a total involvement kind of thing with managers and the artists for us to sit in the boardroom and discuss what we give to the public. And so when we bind something and that this is the vision and this is the agenda, we stick and stay with it. No matter what the populace will do, this is what we are giving them, and that's it, period. People like these kind of things should not sway, no, because of this, let's do it. Let's not do it like that way, let's keep it like this. No. If you sit in your boardroom and you design whatever structure that you need and you want to put it out there, put it out there.
It's like building a house, and then someone comes and says, "I don't like your windows," and you change it. I don't like this, and you change it. You will never build your house.
You don't need to allow people to dictate what you need to give to the market.
You're saying that.
Okay, because you
know
it.
The final consumer shouldn't dictate.
No,
the final consumer dictates by purchasing or not purchasing. They say the customer is right because the customer will say, "I will go for this and I will not go for this."
That's what they are.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about questioning the process, and people sitting on the outside
shouldn't question the process.
Giving their thought process on how it's like seeing a bottle of water and saying, "Charlie, like we get some blue dye, like this go work cool." And you've never made water before.
Perfect.
It's like God makes air and you've never made air before. You are complaining about the air.
Okay, fine. So now I want us to know how do media excel? How do you make money when you pick up an act? I think when you started 18 years ago, it was CD sales. You know, you take the CDs, you take it to. You made cassettes and CD sales. Yeah, 18 years ago.
I want to bring back cassettes.
You want to bring back cassettes?
I swear.
Now, how do you make money at Media Excel for your artists?
I think it is one of the structures that we are heavily trying to build upon, because when the digital CDs sales lost out of our hands, we were left as investors to the project, to businesses of such nature. We were torn between what we have to do, either to continue or to leave the scene. And then we decided, okay, well, let's just look at what is happening around, because our core, where we get our money is from two performances, and of course the sale of the CDs. And then they say that digital music has also become part of it now, downloads. But then I sat down, particularly did my calculations, and I realized that what I was getting from CRBT, what I'm getting from downloads, if I look at that money comparable to the overdraft I do take from banks to support my work,
support your artist,
to support the artist's work, the two of them doesn't meet. They don't meet, because if you take any money from a bank to support an artist's work, the bank will ask you your payment plan.
Yeah.
If you take 50,000 Ghana cedis for a production, the bank will ask you that how much are you paying every month. I should genuinely be able to tell them that every month I will pay 7,000 cedis a month till or 8,000 cash flow.
Yeah.
So, but right now these digital downloads, you'll be there, somebody will come and sign a contract with you. They say first quarter, second quarter. Then you'll be there, then somebody will send you some statements. They say iTunes, you have made $150. You have made $200. If I put that into mathematics, then they say YouTube monetization, you have made 1,500, 2,000.
Yeah.
If I put all these variables together and I match it with the cost of operation for an artist for 1 month, because 1 month alone on television, I need about 12,000 to survive an artist on television for 1 month.
But shows to count.
And I'm saying that, and here, apart from all night for with gospel, apart from the all night and the other sessions, these all nights, which are all night, this church program,
church program,
2,000, the maximum that you get in a church program in Accra here is 5,000 or 3,500, 4,000, negotiable. What I say, even that one, you have a pastors and all this type of things calling you, sorry about this, 1,500, 2,000, and all that kind of thing, and all that. So it is not money. That, and even that money, for example, if you are managing an artist goes to perform, and then they say what they show, the money is 3,000, and you go with maybe 10 instrumentalists to the show, and you pay each of the instrumentalists 80 Ghana cedi per show or 100 cedis. You understand how much money is left to be split between the manager and the artist?
So how do you
see the whole thing?
So
right now,
how do you merge this?
So right now, what we are working hard is that digital downloads should be able to, we need to improve upon it such that the downloads and the money that keeps coming, and that's why I do appreciate the work of the Xylophone Art Fund in terms of what they are trying to bring on board, the creation of the market, and then also the sensitization of Ghanaians to appreciate the culture of downloading and appreciating what we are doing in Ghana here. It's a factual thing which we need to improve, so that if you can have 1 million Ghanaians downloading an artist song Akasi Brimpo's song on iTunes for 50 pesos. It means that that's a lot of money. It means that exactly. It means that musicians can now actively survive 100% because digital platform. With the current system of what is happening, it is not an incentive for anybody in terms of what we are doing to go to any bank and borrow money, 100,000 or 200,000 cedis, and then go and invest into anybody's career. If not, you are just telling yourself that you write your will because you are going to someone prison the next hour. So we need to then actively involve the artists' participation and the musicians. It is important. Where we are, we don't have to keep it secret. The musicians themselves too must also know that this is the trend. So now, if I want to work with you, I sit with you and tell you that
you understand the
exactly. This is the system. What is your contribution to the work? What are we going to do to make sure that we're able to put money, because there's no sitting money anywhere.
Okay, Frankie,
boss.
So
an artist and the management must be able to draw the multiple streams of income. Just draw them. Don't leave even one to chance. Wherever that you hear that there's a peswa that you can get. If you are not skillful, employ the services of a skillful person to do that for you, or you yourself, the manager, go under training and go get to learn how to spread your arms to wherever you can tap value for your brand and make money. Gospel artists, let's not sit down. It's not just the launch. The launch is not even people are not even paying for their pledges when they come for the launch. So let's begin to diversify and get multiple areas where we can tap value.
So if you're a new artist,
income from
you're launching. Okay, so final words.
My final words would be the gospel artists should involve themselves in the industry. When I say in the industry, I mean the Ghanaian music industry in total. It is interesting to say that for the VGMAs this year, they had a music workshop, and it was just these two people, I think, and including Joe Metal's manager, I saw had presence there. No, I saw. Yes, Akesi was there as an artist. I mean, managers.
Akesi is the road manager.
No, but Akesi himself was there.
That's aside. Listen,
Akesi's music manager. We get it. He just wants us to know that Akesi was there. Akesi was there personally. I'm talking about managers.
Okay.
From the gospel side, I was part of it, and I saw the amount of gospel artists that came. And so if you are saying to yourself that you are part of an industry, you have to involve yourself in the industry. That workshop was a free workshop that gave people different streams of income, and for them to go out and consider the different forms of income. And they brought out so many different options. The year before, there were no artists, a lot of gospel musicians didn't have any representation there. And as an artist, your young artist self, look, if Akesi Brimpong can make it there himself, I don't care how busy you are, it is your career. If you know that there's a pile of money here, you will go there. Then go there, because you know that eventually it will bring a pile of money.
But the good news in all this, which the new dispensation, which I'm interested, is the exiting arrangement part of the contract which has come.
I think why? I think we have to come back and do this. The exiting part
of the contract, the management contract now, we sign. Is that as at the time you want to exit,
we'll come back another week.
This is the value and this is how much you have to do. It's an exciting one. It's a safeguard for all of us.
Okay, so some comments I have. So customer and consumer views and their opinion on the product matters.
Yes, on the product, but not on the process of making it. I understood you, but that is the product and not the process in which it's made.
You're on point, but be careful you don't step on toes. Thank you very much for watching the Christian Entertainment Review today. We are signing out with the number one song on Gospel Countdown. The Gospel Countdown was brought to you. The data was collated by Good Music, and the number one song is controversial. I did this with Kwesi NS, Frankie 5 and Soraya. We meet next week from 6 to 8 p.m. Thank you very much for watching.
The same anymore. Christos me, I ain't sent me. Things are not the same anymore. Christos me, YNSMP say. Things are not the same anymore. Christos me, YNSMP. Things are not the same anymore.